Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen, the reigning and defending SmashDown champion, Caden Wilson. The Monster Mutt Rot is here tonight in the last week of the June season. He is trying to hang on to that championship flag to get a guaranteed spot in the all-new July season upcoming. However, he's got 15 other trucks and drivers chomping at the bit to take that flag away. Will he hang on to it here tonight? We're going to find out next. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a capacity sold-out crowd here tonight at the MTA Arena. The final week of the June season culminates here tonight, and we've got 16 of the baddest monster trucks ready to throw down on the arena floor, and the reigning champion, Caden Wilson, Monster Mutt Rottweiler, ready to lay it all on the line. He's trying to take home that championship flag and take it on into the June season, but however, all the other trucks and drivers are ready to take that dog and put him down here tonight. And this is how the round one action is going to be breaking down. And up first, we're going to see the return of Doomsday go one-on-one with Boss Gator. Then BKT back to take on Gravedigger, the legend. Then it's the return of Dragon Slayer taking on Mohawk Warrior. Then we're going to see the return of the Patriot taking on Gas Monkey. Other side of your bracket, Goldberg's back to take on Recreation. Then Excalibur's back to take on El Toro Loco. Destroyer's going to take on Brutus. And closing out round one action, the 𝐬𝐫𝐷𝐿𝐵 back to take a shot at the champion in Monster Mutt Rottweiler here tonight. To close out the June season here tonight, it's the return of Austin Spence and the Boss Gator representing the Crushless race team. He's been running strong all season. He's ready now to take on Mad Mike. Ma Williams returning here tonight in Doomsday, driving for the Gravel Gladiators over there on the outside lane. He came into this season as champion. He would want nothing more than to leave this season as champion. Who do you guys think is going to take home this round one win? Doomsday, Boss Gator. Here's the green light down the straightaway they go. The Gator's got a lead on it now, up and over no man's land. It's close, but it's all Boss Gator. Austin Spence will put Doomsday on the trailer for good this season, and he will advance on into our round two matchups. And next up here tonight, it's the return of your boy Shaggy, Matt Cheever, Gravedigger the legend, back here tonight on SmashDown, ready now to take on longtime veteran Chris Paluk in the BKT machine, ready now on the inside lane. There you see a little bit of damage done to Gravedigger the legend. He made it all the way to the finals a couple of weeks ago, but not without rolling that truck over 3 times. He's back and ready to take on an old rival, Chris Paluk, BKT. Green light drops down now on the line. BKT got a hold job of the legends right there with him, and Shaggy will pull out the win here tonight over BKT, and it was all BKT from the start, but the Gravedigger finished the job here tonight, going across the finish line first. And now for our next matchup here tonight on SmashDown, it's Nugget getting ready to go one-on-one with Larry Ramsdale inside of the Dragon Slayer. New kid on the block, seems to be doing well in that truck. He's had a lot of great consistent runs. He's trying to get a big-time win out here, but he's got to go through Nugget inside of the Mohawk Warrior from the Uncle Shaggy School of Driving. Now over here on the inside lane, both drivers are staged and ready to go. It's anybody's ball game. They want that championship win to close out the June season. Dragon Slayer and Mohawk Warrior, both trucks are staged as we go green, and down the straightaway they go. Looks like Nugget's on fire down the straightaway through no man's land over the car. What a ride for Larry Ramsdale, and Nugget's still on fire. Wait, they cut the clip. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this replay. We go back. Nugget is on fire, and Mohawk Warrior down that straightaway. Something let go in that truck. They go through no man's land. I don't think he realized it was on fire. And look at, they cross the finish line. Nugget and Mohawk Warrior get the racing win here tonight. Larry Ramsdale going for broke on the outside lane, rolls it end over end, but the story is Mohawk Warrior still on fire down inside of the shutdown area. Nugget is out of the truck. He's A-okay. They think the fuel cell caught on fire. There's a flash right there. Did you see the flash come out of that truck? It looks like something let go in the motor, and it caught the fuel cell in the back of the truck on fire. MTA track crew officials got down there really fast, and they got the fire put out. What an insane ride. We'll have an update on Mohawk Warrior later on tonight down inside of the pits and see the damage that was done. Unbelievable history in the making for Mohawk Warrior here tonight. But next up, coming to the line, Starvin' Corey Marvin returns in the Patriot, now ready to take on Jason Sensation, Jason Craddock, former 9-time Thursday Night Thunder champion, one-time SmashDown champion, ready to rock the house one more time here tonight at the end of the June season. From the K&J Motorsports race team, it's 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭 all the way out of Dallas, Texas. Mopar taking on Chevrolet. Stage at the line. Here's the green light down the straightaway. They go. The bow tie's got to leave, but the Mopar's right there with him, and he's going to get the win over the Patriot here tonight. And a hard roll for Jason Sensation down inside of the shutdown area. Got a little crossed up on that pod down there, and the Patriot was right there with him. Corey Marvin didn't let him get it easy. We're going to go back and check out your MTA replay. Off the line, you see the inside lane. Starving Corey Marvin had a lead. Here comes the Mopar horsepower on the outside. Nice jump through no man's land. They settle it down. A shootout to the finish line, and Jason Craddock pulls it away by about half a truck just to turn it over down inside of the shutdown area. He should be back for round 2 here tonight. But next up, it's the return of Goldberg, ready to rock the house all the way out of Atlanta, Georgia. Ready now to take on new kid on the block, 𝐬𝐿 in the all-new Recreation Chevrolet. Now ready to go over here on the outside lane. All these drivers are trying to take home that championship flag and move into the July season with a guaranteed spot. They're knocking each other out, and they're trying to race hard. Who's going to take it on in a round 2, Recreation or Goldberg? Stage at the line. Here's the green light down the straightaway. They're side by side. They go up and over no man's land. A good race. Makes a little bit of contact in the shutdown area. What an incredible race here on SmashDown tonight. Goldberg and Recreation letting it all hang out. We got to go back and look at our MTA photo finish. Your winner is going to be 𝐬𝐿 in Recreation by a tread of a tire. They will put Goldberg on the trailer here tonight. What an incredible matchup that was. Adam Lampert, nothing to be ashamed of. He was right there with Recreation. But next up is Madison Brown, another new kid on the block in the all-new yellow El Toro Loco, taking on Josh Dig Rhodes and 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿, the bow tie from the Crush This race team over here on the outside lane. And again, that's his last ride in that truck. A brand new 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿's ready to make its debut. Can he get a win here tonight over El Toro Loco? Here's the green light down the straightaway. They go. El Toro with a slight lead. 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿 now a little bit out of shape. Getting gathering up, and over he goes inside of the shutdown area. Almost making contact with El Toro Loco as he gets the truck rolled over inside of the shutdown area. We're going to go back now and take another look at our replay. El Toro Loco did pull a slight hole shot. 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿 knows he's got to make up some ground. Launches over the first jump. Right here, gets crossed up in no man's land. Nowhere to go but out of control. Hits the pod in the shutdown area, and over he goes right behind El Toro Loco. And what a last ride it was for that old 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿 machine. It's been in several MTA events, and tonight you just saw its very last ride as it will be replaced with a brand new truck. And the MTA track crew and officials are down there now to roll it back over as it's going to get parked, and the cage is going to be pulled apart, and a whole lot of scrap parts are going to come off of that truck. But there you see the damage done to 𝐿𝐴𝐵𝐿 here tonight to close out the June season. Incredible job by Josh Rhodes. He gets an all-new truck at the start of his next season. So a lot of history in that truck as it's going to get retired once and for all. But next up here tonight, inside of round 1, it's the return of Greg Durbin. Say it with me, Brutus! He's back to take on Joseph Nelson in Destroyer, the Ford camp out of Michigan. Now ready to go over on the outside lane. Took home a SmashDown win here on this season just a couple of weeks ago. Greg Durbin in the all-new revamped Brutus has been a threat out here on the series. Who's going to round 2? Green light drops down on the line. Brutus with a whole shot. Destroyer trying to play catch up on him now. What a race it is. Over goes Brutus inside of the shutdown area. That pod down there is tripping up these trucks, but they're trying to get the truck shut down before tagging that wall protection down there. But let's talk about this race. We're going to go back and check out your MTA photo finish. Your winner in round 1 is going to be Greg Durbin and Brutus. You notice one truck's up and one truck's down. Greg Durbin was planting down the horsepower here tonight in round 1. And next up here tonight to close out round 1 action, the veteran returns. Matthew Riley inside of the SoBe Chevrolet to take on the reigning and defending SmashDown champion, Caden Wilson, the Monster Mutt Rottweiler on the inside lane from the Backyard Beast race team. Got a SmashDown win last week. Trying to hang on to the flag here tonight to get an automatic ticket into the new July season. The big dog's got to eat. Both trucks are staged as we go green down the straightaway. They go. Monster Mutt with the lead, but SoBe's hanging right there with him. A shootout to the finish line, and Monster Mutt will tag the wall inside of the shutdown area. What an incredible race to close out round 1. Championship flag was on the line between SoBe and the Monster Mutt. Let's go back and check out your MTA replay. Off the line, you see Caden Wilson had the whole shot down the straightaway, but SoBe is right there with them. They hit the first jump. They settle it down right here in no man's land. Shoot out to the finish line. And ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't get much closer than that. But MTA officials give the win to the Monster Mutt on the inside lane as the SoBe Chevrolet was right there with them, down to the last wire, and Monster Mutt will pick up a round 1 victory, carrying the championship flag on into round 2. He's trying to hang on to it here tonight. Who's it going to be going into the July season? Is Monster Mutt going to hang on to the flag all the way to the end, or is someone else going to come along and take it? We'll be right back with more round 2 action here on SmashDown right after the break, because we're heading down to the pits with the Mohawk Warrior. And welcome down to the pits here tonight on SmashDown. We have gotten word after a catastrophic fire from the Mohawk Warrior, even though they won the race against Dragon Slayer inside of round 1, the truck is unable to come back for our round 2 competition. You can see the disaster that fire has taken on that team and that truck. So they're going to be packing up, heading back to the homestead and seeing what they can do to salvage the Mohawk Warrior. On the other side of the shop, however, the last ride for 𝐶𝐶alibur. Earlier tonight, Josh Rhodes rolled the truck over. Again, it's last ride here tonight on SmashDown. That team has a brand new truck coming out for 𝐶𝐶alibur. But the big story tonight, the big fire that happened with Mohawk Warrior, unbelievable damage out here, most we've ever seen on any MTA event. And right now, they're going to get that truck loaded down, tired down, and hopefully see them back very soon on the MTA circuit. But right now, we're kicking things off with round 2 competition. The Boss Gator returns to take on Gravedigger the Legend. Then, as we just talked about, Dragon Slayer's coming back, even though they lost to fill the spot of Mohawk Warrior to take on Gas Monkey. Then, other side, it's the return of Recreation taking on El Toro Loco, and then Brutus gets the shot of the champion in the Monster Mutt. Now up at the line right now, Austin Spence, who's representing the Crush This race team. The Boss Gator back at the line. He's taking on none other than your boy Shaggy, Matt Cheever, and Gravedigger the Legend. Again, he made it to the final round showdown just a couple of weeks ago. He would love to put the Legend Machine back in that final round here tonight. He's got to go through one of the best Crush This racing team, Boss Gator. Here's the green light down the straightaway. They go. The Legend's got a whole shot on him. Up and over. No man's land. And Shaggy up and over. Turns it over here tonight on SmashDown. A shootout to the finish line between both competitors. And Austin Spence and Boss Gator really closed the gap as they shot over no man's land. We're going to go back and take a look at our MTA replay here. And off the line, you see inside lane, Gravedigger the Legend has a slight lead. Watch now as they hit the first jump. Fly high up and over no man's land. They settle it down. Shaggy's a little out of shape, and the Boss Gator gets the win, and Uncle Shaggy goes over once again here tonight on SmashDown. Gravedigger the Legend will be on the trailer right out of the June season, and right now our MTA track crew and officials are down there rolling Gravedigger the Legend back over, and Uncle Shaggy, we got to talk to you about these bodies, man. You done went through 2 Gravedigger the Legend bodies just this season, man. We got to talk about it a little bit, or kick me a bone or two. Anyway, Shaggy is upside down. They got him right side up. He's on the trailer for the night. Gravedigger the Legend going home. Boss Gator will advance on in the semifinals. But next up here tonight, inside of round 2, Larry Ramsdale, the new kid on the block, rolled the truck over earlier tonight, running down Mohawk Warrior. He will now take on Jason Sensation Craddock and Gas Monkey, another driver who rolled over earlier tonight over the ending pod inside of the shutdown area. Gas Monkey ready to go. Veteran taking on new kid on the block. Gas Monkey will go one-on-one with Dragon Slayer. Who's going to be going to the semis to meet up with Boss Gator? Green light goes down the straightaway. They're side by side. Dragon with a slight lead up and over no man's land, and it's all Dragon Slayer. The new kid will put the veteran on the trailer here tonight. Dragon Slayer running on all cylinders. Gas Monkey put up a good fight, but it was all Dragon Slayer here tonight in round 2. And next up, coming to the line, speaking of new kids on the block, Madison Brown, who debuted the brand new yellow El Toro Loco at the top of the season, comes back to take on another new kid on the block, Z Kenner, and the all-new Recreation over here on the inside lane. So 2 new rookies out here on the MTA circuit. They're about to throw it down inside of round 2 here tonight. One of them moving on in the semifinals. Who's it going to be? Stage, here's the green light down the straightaway. They go. Recreation with a slight lead. El Toro Loco out of shape now. Over she goes in the shutdown area. And Z Kenner, Recreation, will advance on into our semifinal matchup here tonight as we close out the June season here on SmashDown. What a wild ride for El Toro Loco as we go back and take another look here. Recreation with a slight lead down the straightaway. El Toro Loco not far behind. Little out of shape coming down through no man's land. Locked up and rolled over right here as they went across the finish line at a high rate of speed. Obviously, they were trying to chase down Recreation. Could not come up with it. And now our MTA track crew officials are down there with the El Toro Loco machine. She's out of the truck. A-OK, and the crew is going to get that truck right side up. Another damaged body for El Toro Loco this season. What a ride it's been as Madison Brown thrills the fans here tonight on SmashDown, and as we wrap up the June season, definitely out here making a bunch of fans would want to ride for El Toro Loco. They're going to be on the trailer. Recreation will move on, but right now it's time to close out round 2. Caden Wilson, your defending SmashDown champion from the Backyard Beast Race team, will go one-on-one with Greg Durbin and Brutus from Team Scream, who's got that revamped truck underneath of him. It's been running strong. He's been an idle threat all season long in that brand new ride. Two dogs about to throw it down here tonight inside of the dog pound to close out round 2. Monster Mutt Rot, Brutus, who's taking the flag in the semifinal competition. Here's the green light down the straightaway they go. They're side by side. I'm do that to the finish line now. What a race it is as both of them tag the wall inside of the shutdown area. What an incredible race to close out round 2. I'm still not sure who got the racing win here tonight. We're going to go back and take another look at our MTA photo finish. Your winner in round 2 is going to be Caden Wilson in Monster Mutt by a tire length over Brutus here tonight. What an incredible matchup. A great effort by Greg Durbin and that new Brutus. Again, he's going to be a top threat for many races to come. And ladies and gentlemen, that will wrap up round 2 competition here tonight on SmashDown. Thank you guys for riding with us. We hope you're enjoying the show so far. We got a lot more great racing still to come. Semifinal action is next. Now, before we get down to the semifinal competition, we are back down in the pit area after round 2, and you see the carnage done by El Toro Loco. We're also alongside Shaggy and Gravedigger the Legend. A lot of work to be done on these trucks before the next season. Hopefully we'll see those guys back sooner than later. Obviously, Shaggy tore up 2 Gravedigger the Legend bodies this season. Alongside, so did El Toro Loco. She put up a good fight all season long. A true threat these drivers are starting to become right here on SmashDown. But right now we are back and ready for semifinal competition. We're going to see the return of Boss Gator go one-on-one with Dragon Slayer, who got that spot when Mohawk Warrior could not return to competition after that fire earlier tonight inside of round 1. Other side of the bracket, Recreation returning to take on the defending champion in Monster Mutt. The flag will be on the line. We're going to see if Caden Wilson can hold out till the final round. But right now, new kid on the block, Larry Ramsdale and Dragon Slayer trying to capitalize on the look he got earlier tonight at a round 1. He goes one-on-one with Austin Spence inside of the Boss Gator, looking for his very first SmashDown championship here tonight, ready to throw down against the new kid on the block. Both drivers staged and ready. This is for all the marbles, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to the final round showdown to close out the June season? Both trucks are staged. Here's the green light down the straightaway. They're side by side. It's up and over no man's land. A shootout to the finish line. What an incredible matchup here tonight in our semifinals to close out the June season on SmashDown. Dragon Slayer, Boss Gator land at a clinic here tonight as we go back and take another look at our MTA photo finish. Your winner's going to be Austin Spence and Boss Gator. He wins it by a tire length, and he puts Dragon Slayer on the trailer. What an incredible matchup here tonight. But now, who is going to meet up with Boss Gator in the final round? Is it going to be new kid on the block, 𝐬𝐿 in the all-new Recreation? Or is it going to be the reigning and defending SmashDown champion, Caden Wilson from the Backyard Beast Race team and the Monster Mutt Rottweiler over here on the inside lane? The big dog's got to eat out here tonight. He's trying to take out the new kid on the block in Recreation. Both drivers stage. Who beats Boss Gator? Here's the green light down the straightaway. They go. They're side by side up and over no man's land. Monster Mutt now coming back. What a race it is. They were side by side from the start, but 𝐬𝐿 and Recreation started to pull a big-time lead down the straightaway, and Monster Mutt came from behind and had a close race down to the finish line. We're going to go back and take a look at your photo finish. Your winner will be Caden Wilson with a come-from-behind victory, and we'll put Recreation on the trailer here tonight after semifinals. And ladies and gentlemen, the finals are coming up next, but we want to remind you that tonight's program, SmashDown, is brought to you by our friends over there at Crush This. Be sure to check out the Crush This Monster Truck Podcast Tuesday nights right after SmashDown, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on Facebook and YouTube. They go in depth with all your favorite monster truck drivers and crew members. Be sure to check out the Crush This Podcast right after SmashDown. And ladies and gentlemen, what an awesome show we have had here tonight. We hope you've enjoyed the ride with us. The finals are finally here. Who's taking the championship flag on into the July season? Monster Mutt ready to go one-on-one with Boss Gator. And let's tell the tale of the tape how Boss Gator went ahead and knocked out Doomsday in round 1, Gravedigger the Legend in round 2, and then finally Dragon Slayer in semis. Other side of the bracket, it was the return of Monster Mutt, who eliminated Sobe in round 1, Brutus in round 2, and then we just saw him take out Recreation here tonight in semifinals. But right now it's come down to the final round showdown. Austin Spence looking for his very first SmashDown Championship representing the Crush This Race team and Boss Gator. Other side of the coin, Caden Wilson from the Backyard Beast Race team, your reigning and defending SmashDown champion over there on the outside lane. He came into this event as champion. He's trying to hang on to that flag to close out the June season. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it's all about. All of it's on the line. Who do you want to win? Boss Gator, Monster Mutt. It's showtime down the straightaway, side by side. They go. Good race, shoot out to the finish line. What a matchup to close out SmashDown in the June season. Ladies and gentlemen, what a race it is. Boss Gator and Monster Mutt laying down a clinic. What an incredible race. Way too close to call from up here in the booth. We're going to go back down and check out our MTA replay. Watch this final round showdown. There, door handle to door handle, all the way down the straightaway. Watch them hit the first jump. They settle it down in no man's land. Who can plant the horsepower first? They freeze frame it right at the line. Looks like Boss Gator is just ahead of Monster Mutt. Take another look at the next shot, and Boss Gator will eliminate the Monster Mutt here in the final round showdown. Caden Wilson and Monster Mutt, nothing to be ashamed of. You ran one heck of a race all night long. Put up a good fight. But ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your all-new SmashDown champion here tonight from the Crush This Race team, Austin Spence and Boss Gator. And ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible night of racing here on SmashDown as we close out the June season. Thank you guys once again for riding with us on the MTA YouTube channel. We sure hope you had a great time out here tonight, and we sure hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you guys always for your support of the MTA YouTube channel. Be sure, if you haven't already, crush that subscribe button, and I'll catch you down the road.